So how was day 2? Sounds like everybody likes the start with the scrimmage.
I think we liked it so much. The players looked good, and I think they liked it, but I think management really liked watching it. All the pro scouts are here, so it was a good chance for them. And so we added another 10 minutes on today. And, the training camp rules are strict, so we got to manage our time properly for the players, and we just thought it was more valuable for all of us and them that they want to keep that pace up. We asked them to play a little bit more structured and a little more physical today, get out of the summer hockey rules where no hitting, and get ready for some exhibition games. So I thought that's why the score was down today, and now tomorrow we'll try and combine and not open it up, but try and create a little bit more opportunities to score, but also working on our defensive game at the same time.
Kyle had talked earlier about having guys play more specific roles, and it seems like you've done that throughout the lines, and the one that might be Athanasiou, is it trying to figure out where he might best fit with this lineup?
Yeah, I think so, and he didn't play a lot of hockey last year, and I think he was probably frustrated and really looking for a good start. I know he spent a lot of time here this summer working on his body and his conditioning, and he looks like he's in great shape. And now it's just to get him confident in using that speed. And I think he always looks good in the middle, so that's not a bad spot where you have two veteran guys, a line that you can count on to not make mistakes, and that's something where he has to obviously be more consistent at and use his speed, because when he has the puck and he's moving, he's very dangerous out there. I know he didn't score yesterday, but he had a couple of really good chances. And Maroon, for a big guy that's always known to be rugged, he's got great hands and he can make very good plays. So, and Craig Smith's a veteran guy that can shoot a puck, and as we saw yesterday, and he's got some energy. So, you put them three together, there's a lot of experience. Who knows if they'll stay together? But right now, it kind of looks like a good bit of chemistry there. We'll see how it grows.
It seems like that second line center role is up for grabs. Are you hoping someone can take control of that, or do you mind kind of experimenting with different options?
Yeah, I think we can experiment with that. I think Khrushchev did a great job evolving into by default, because we needed him there at center last year, and I think he got more comfortable as he went along. But those guys look great right now too. But it's only 2 days into training camp where, as we ask and demand more from them over the next few days of scrimmage before we get to exhibition games, it'll kind of show us what, who belongs where, and that's usually the way it happens. Like the players show you. You can put them where you want and hope, but it usually ends up being them showing you.
Have you noticed any differences in Reichel, either on or off the ice?
Yeah, I think he's been confident. Usually he walks around, and he's had to work his way here. Probably a slower pace than he would like, but sometimes that happens with young guys, and he's not the biggest, most physical guy, so it's a hard league for him to get steady and comfortable in. And I think he's come up and had some good conversations with me, where before I think he tries to just be under the radar and slide through the day and just not confident. And I think he's definitely got more confident in his personality off the ice, and it's showing on the ice. I thought today he was excellent. I thought that line played well. They scored a nice goal yesterday, but today I thought they had the puck quite a bit, used their speed, and especially him. I think in the first session on this side, when I came out, I had to go over. I was on the other bench, but I just stuck my head over the boards, and I just wanted to get a hold of him, where he just kind of tried to make it a little bit of a hold pass, because he stopped skating, and I think he feels like he has to make something happen, where I think, he's got to be a little bit smarter with the puck. It doesn't have to be a home run every play. It can be batting singles, talking Cubs language, I guess you're right now. But, and then that means that we can have the puck more. Like if we give the puck away, and you only have it 25% of the time, it means you're chasing the puck for 75% of the time, and you're tired, and you get the puck and dump it in and change. We need him to be an offensive guy, and that doesn't mean you score every shift. It just means we manage the puck better every shift, and then we're going to have more opportunities to strike when it's open.
Is Teravainen a good model for them?
Yeah, and I talked to him when we flip sides. I said, make sure you talk to your line mates about because once at the end of the first session over here, he was kind of by himself, and we ask guys to get to the net, but we don't need the two guys to go to the net. We need one guy to get to the net, and then you're released low, but we need someone to come over and help you. And I told him to talk to, especially Reichel, about that. I think Hershey's, a little bit more experienced in that area, and get him right confident. I thought they had a really good second half over here on this scrimmage, so hopefully, Reichs takes advantage of playing with a guy like Teuvo and learning from him, and he can kind of emulate what he does out there, and maybe there's a little chemistry that grows there.
So you're talking to Korchinski on the bench during the scrimmage. What sort of feedback are you giving him as he tries to take that next step?
Just, what we tried to work on a lot last year is his positioning, and sometimes he doesn't realize, I think, where his body is on the ice, because he's watching the play, but he kind of floats around, and he's so quick and explosive. He usually gets back in and gets his stick on something, but you don't have to be in a scramble mode all the time. I think with him, I said, unless it's McDavid or McKinnon on the ice or someone like that, I think he can keep himself inside that offensive blue line if you a little bit tighter, and not just floating all over the place, and kind of stop moving your feet, and being in there and being ready. A loose puck came out, he could have had an offensive strike. Instead, he was kind of floated back, and then he has to dive in, and the guy chips the puck by him, and now he's chasing it back. I go, not too many people are going to beat you from the far blue line to your net if you stay in there. But if you're out and then you take a 50-50 and you dive forward, you have to stop and get your momentum to come back. Then it's going to be more difficult for you. So that was what I talked to him about today, and just little things on positioning, because I think he's got a lot of skill, and when he decides to get that puck and go offensively, he's dangerous. It's more when there's a transition or the other team has the puck and they're coming at us, just to be a little bit more forceful, coming into our zone. He doesn't have to run people over, but he's a big body and he skates really well. And we used to show clips of Duncan Keith. We're not comparing him to Duncan Keith. They're saying he's going to be a Duncan Keith, but you can skate and play kind of like him, where when guys come into your offensive blue line or even before the blue line, you can go from inside out with your stick and just get your body right through their hands, and they can't go anywhere. If you think about a hockey player and someone comes through your hands, it's like you're pinched off. It's almost like you're stuck, you can't move, and that's all you have to do. And then we have the puck back instead of just kind of retreating back. When you're an elite skater, I think use that as a weapon.
Just crunching the numbers on defense, if possible, Korchinski ends up in Rockford. Do you think that could help him, or just sort of build up confidence and everything? Or
well, I know the organizations use that in the past for guys like Vlasic and Kaiser, even the second half of last year. But we want the players to, like I said earlier, show us who's going to fit in where. And definitely, I don't think it's very good for a young defenseman to make a team but then just sit as a seventh guy. That's this is an imperative time for them to be skating in a game situation, playing as many games as possible. And it worked out last year with our injuries and everything, and Kevin played well, especially early in the season. Like him and Kaiser played really well out of camp. They deserved all the ice time they got. And then as we got banged up as the season went along, if any point in time when they struggled, I think Kaiser was able to go down, but because of the rules, Kevin wasn't. And you don't want to send him back to junior, because he's already been to the Memorial Cup twice, World Junior twice. He's done all that. You're just going to get poor habits from being too good for that league. So that's where the rules really didn't benefit him last year. But this year he looks confident, he looks bigger and stronger, and we just work on his positioning every day as any young defenseman, and we'll just see where he tells us he should be.
In the past, you've had like a seventh defenseman, like at Chinordi, who made sense maybe. Do you have any ideas how you want to use that position?
I don't think so. I think we wanted to let guys that have been here and they're still young and big guys that are working their way up in the organization, and again see what kind of strides they've made. Like since I've been here, the strides that Crevier's made from coming out of junior as an overage to his first year pro in Rockford to coming up and playing some really good games last year, seeing where he takes that another big step, and you get that next Brandon Carlo type of guy, big guy that's got a great reach, frustrating to play against, and a smart player. And it's just very little mistakes, and that's what we have to make sure he's up to speed at this level. I think bringing in the veterans like Martinez and Brody are going to help all these young players, and it's going to help them practicing and watching them every day, and then seeing them in the game, talking to them on the bench. Sometimes that helps even more than a coach showing something because it's on their perspective level.
Have you thought about how you're going to handle Bedard's development now that is it going to be any different now that he's no longer a rookie?
No, I don't think so. I think last year there was times where we were survival mode and he was out of the lineup at one point in time too, with all the injuries and where we were at last year. We had more call-ups than we had to worry about sending anybody down last year. So I think this year we're maybe in an opposite mode, and we need everybody to push forward. But again, like you bring Teuvo in, you got a guy like Bertuzzi that's just he's a guy that plays like Nick. Like he's passionate. Sometimes it doesn't always look the smoothest out there, but he gets things done. He's a guy that's willing to go to the net and can score goals. And with Taylor Hall playing at full steam this year, we got guys now that can help and support these young players. Where last year we were asking a lot from Nick and Dickinson, and that where we're really not only taking them out of their main roles, which they did a fantastic job last year on all areas, and providing offense, but still working on and playing as hard as they usually play. And supporting the young guys. Now we got more support in that area. So we're going to use the veteran guys to help support, like Connor, guys like Frank when he's around here, Reichel, even Kershey. Let's push forward. Let's get harder to play against every day. Let's be consistent at it, and that's Connor's in that group of young guys, and he's obviously an important one, but we need him to make sure that he's already come to camp in better shape. I think, or maybe it's just his body's maturing as well, and he's been through the league now for a year. So I think he's taken the first step to show up prepared even better than he was. If we can imagine that, I think that's a good step for him. And now we did our step in maybe surrounding him with some good character players that can play with him and good talent. And now my job is to push that forward. And he's got to be pushed forward just like anybody else. So if you're Taylor Hall and you turn a puck over, you're going to have to hear about it, and there's always circumstances and consequences for that. And I think he has to know that he's just like anybody else on the team. And last year we probably didn't have that luxury because we were just scrambling to get through games and have enough players or have enough talent to survive.
We all silly like the mayor.